Well, President Trump tweeted just a few minutes ago this, quote, Republicans should stop wasting their time on immigration until after we elect more senators and congressmen, women in November. Dems are just playing games, have no intention of doing anything to solve this decades-old problem. We can pass great legislation after the red wave. End tweet. Join us now, Republican Congressman Lance of New Jersey. Congressman, it's good to see you this morning as someone who's been working on this problem and trying to get compromise legislation through over the last several days. What's your reaction to the president's tweet?
I respectfully disagree. I think we should continue to work on it today in the Congress and work on it next week as well. And I want to solve this problem as quickly as possible.
What is a workable compromise within your Republican caucus? Because as you know well, there are Republicans who say that by giving a pathway to citizenship, you are in effect granting amnesty. How do you fix the problem of having two people on both sides of the issue?
I disagree with that. I think that we need a path for citizenship for the Dreamers, and the compromise bill would do that. And it's still a work in progress, and we will continue to work on that. I was one of those who signed the discharge petition, and I do not think that we would be discussing this issue in this time frame if it were not for the discharge petition. And as you know, I'm also a member of the Problem Solvers Caucus. These are moderate Republicans and moderate Democrats, and we try to work together on these important issues confronting the nation.
You have said this week, Congressman, quote, I oppose the zero-tolerance policy. I call on the president to end it. The president said yesterday in a media gathering that zero tolerance is still on. It's the only way to keep our borders safe. What happens now, Congressman, in the short term to these 2,300 or so children who've been separated from their families because the executive order does nothing to address those kids? And that's what a lot of people want to know. Some of the faces and some of the kids that we've looked at are still without their parents, without hopes of being reunited. What can be done in the short term to change that?
I think Congress should demand that the administration return those children to their parents as quickly as possible, and this is the responsibility of several departments of government, including Homeland Security, and we should demand of officials at those agencies that those children be returned to their parents as quickly as possible.
Hey, Congressman, it's Jonathan Lemire. The president's tweet this morning calling for Republicans to delay acting on immigration comes just a couple days after he was at Capitol Hill talking about this and suggesting he would support a plan. Can you talk a little bit about, first of all, how this mixed messaging is hurting you, but also this idea that with immigration being such a hot-button issue, the only way a deal could get done, you know, considering the president and his supporters' very strong feelings about this, would be if Trump went to them and said, look, this is a bill I can get behind. Is he abdicating leadership on this issue?
He has indicated that he would sign the compromise bill, and I hope he would do so. I am encouraged by what I see over in the Senate on the issue regarding the children, where apparently Senator Feinstein and Senator Cruz are now working together, and I think that's a hopeful sign, and I hope that that continues, and we should be addressing that issue in the House as well.
Congressman, the president has said time and again, and continues to do so even after the signing of the executive order, that the problems we're seeing on the border right now are the product of Democrats in Congress. Do you agree with his assessment?
I think this is a challenge for the entire nation, and I want to work with Democratic colleagues, and I hope Democratic colleagues will work with us, and I challenge Democratic colleagues to work with us because we have to resolve this situation.
But do you agree that the Democrats brought about this problem, or do you believe it's a policy put in place by the Trump administration?
I think it's a policy by the Trump administration, the most recent situation, but certainly this is a long-standing issue, and we have to work together to improve the situation.
All right, Congressman Lance.